So they're okay, but how about this one? New developments in the debate over your Second Amendment rights after California Senator Dianne Feinstein unveiled a new assault weapons ban set to reach further than the previous law, which expired about 8 years ago. Erich Pratt's Director of Communications for Gun Owners of America. Erich, good morning and welcome back to America's Newsroom. We have not spoken since yesterday. What do you think of the proposal?
Well, it's very far-reaching. It's certainly not going to keep bad guys from getting their hands on these type of firearms.
Why not?
Well, what ban actually has worked? It certainly didn't work in Washington, D.C., where they had a virtually complete ban, and yet criminals were still able to get firearms. And look, Connecticut had an even stricter semi-auto ban up there, and that didn't stop Adam Lanza from killing his victim, his mother, and stealing the firearms.
And on that point, you've heard Senator Feinstein and many others, and you'll probably hear Joe Biden say this later today, that this law was designed to prevent more Sandy Hooks. Now, based on what you know about the law, would it or not?
Absolutely not. And if they really wanted to stop future Sandy Hooks, then they would repeal the gun-free zones law, which prevents principals and teachers from being able to protect the children, like Joel Myrick, the assistant principal in Mississippi, did with his firearm many years ago. I mean, that's how you stop. When bad guys get a gun, as they're going to, and they show up at a school, rather than waiting 15 or 20 minutes for the police to arrive, because they can't be everywhere, you need to have somebody. You know, it's sad that a parent can defend his children at home, but he goes to school and he can't defend the children there. These gun-free zones have simply been magnets for the criminal element, because if you go back 10, 20 years, all the mass shootings in this country, except for one or two, have all occurred in gun-free zones. These guys may be evil, but they're not stupid. They don't go shoot up police stations. They go where they're going to be the only ones with a gun.
She admitted that it's an uphill battle. You agree with that, I would assume, right?
I do. It is going to be an uphill.
Do you think Reid will even bring this to a vote? He's already talked about the sensitivity about putting, you know, his own members of the Democratic Senate on record on this issue.
I'm not sure what Reid's going to do. He may bring it up for a vote. If he does, we're hoping that we'll be able to offer amendments like what I was just talking about that would be a real solution in repealing these gun bans, which are attracting criminals to go shoot up places where they're going to be the only one with a gun.
We saw the images yesterday. Senator Feinstein was out there with a number of weapons that she believes should be off the streets, and that this proposal will in effect do that. But here she is from 1995 explaining why, all the way back in the 1970s, that even she felt that she needed to defend herself in California.
I know the urge to arm yourself because that's what I did. I was trained in firearms. I'd walk to the hospital when my husband was sick. I carried a concealed weapon. I made the determination that if somebody was going to try to take me out, I was going to take them with me.
Just for clarification here now, she allowed her permit to expire, but she was under a serious threat in California. How do you rectify the Feinstein from the 70s and the 90s and the one today?
Well, we think it's very hypocritical. I mean, here she carried for protection, and I would applaud her for that. But and by the way, to this day, she's still very well protected. You know, on Capitol Hill, there's 1,800 Capitol Hill police there protecting her. Many of them with AR-15 style firearms. So for her now to turn around and tell the American public what they can or can't use for self-defense is simply offensive and hypocritical, especially when you consider these are commonly owned firearms. President Reagan owned an AR-15 rifle. These are in households all over the country. Millions of homes have them, and this is going to be a lot of people are going to be very upset if they're told that they're not going to either be able to own these, or they're going to be restricted or have to get them registered in any way.
As you know, she made the news yesterday. Joe Biden will make news on this today. Erich Pratt will be watching and seeing and waiting for the vice president on that. Thank you for your time.